Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly. I wanted to address our listeners
Yes.
because we're going to put out a special extra episode today,
Yes.
and it's kind of like an afternoon delight.
Afternoon delight.
Because I have a prediction about some of the baseball games that are happening
Yes. So
tonight,
it's timely.
especially the Dodgers game tonight.
It's timely. So we're going to post this afternoon. We usually post at 5 in the morning a couple times a week, maybe
Yeah.
3 times a week, but we're going to do an afternoon episode because of prescient, the prescient nature of it.
Yes, afternoon delight. So enjoy.
Thank you. What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's going on?
We're doing a special afternoon delight episode.
I know.
This is timely because we have follow up to going down to the Roman Coliseum. Dodger Stadium.
Totally. So, I've been watching, like a lot of MLB games.
MLB.
I know. And I know this question has been brought up before by a lot of people, but are pro sports rigged?
I think they are.
So when people started talking about this after some of the football games, um, I thought, yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
And do you want to kind of go over some of those football games?
Yeah.
Because it seemed apparent to me and it seemed kind of obvious.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm a bad person,
Hmm.
and Dr. Fauci told me. He said, if we keep letting these conspiracy theorists talk, that's going to be kissing civilization bye bye. So I'm a bad person, but I think if you have to sell your soul to become an A-lister in Hollywood, I think you have to sell your soul to become an A-lister in sports.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think in sports, like there might be some 350-pound linebacker who probably didn't sell his soul, and he's probably making like the bare minimum,
Right.
league minimum.
Right.
But
But if you're Tom Brady,
Tom Brady sold his soul and was married to a witch
yeah,
who was doing curses on the other team. That's not a coincidence.
right,
I don't believe in coincidences.
right.
That's not a coincidence. So he sold his soul.
There's a lot of coincidences that take place around these sports
So
games.
let's talk about Tom Brady. Let's bring up him.
Okay.
So I think that dude sold his soul.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think that Giselle chick that he was married to,
That was staged.
I think she's a witch.
Hmm.
I think she sold her soul.
For sure.
I think their marriage is
Well,
a script.
Well, did you know that she's a twin? She says she has an identical twin back wherever she came from. I think it was like some Eastern Bloc country. I don't know where.
Ukraine's gnarly.
Yeah, but yeah, supposedly she's got an identical twin, but that person is not a model. Now, that always seemed
That's
weird.
weird.
That's always seemed weird to me because I thought,
She's
okay,
identical.
if she's like a top model, and everybody thinks she's so gorgeous, I don't really think she's that gorgeous, but I mean, I can see the appeal.
She was a volleyball player.
Yeah, and so
Wasn't she?
I don't know about that, but she's so gorgeous and she's on the cover of all these magazines and she's got an identical twin. Wouldn't you think they'd want to cash in on that and like, oh my God, now we've got two of them and they're twins and like wouldn't that be a big deal to have like two of them?
But maybe her twin has a soul.
Well, that's what I always
And was
wondered.
like, I don't want it.
That's what I always wondered.
You know what I notice about you is you're gorgeous and you could have
Well, thank you, Firefly.
You are. And you could have gone and been a big somebody in Hollywood. But you would have had to go up and visit with you know who.
Well, I would have had to go have wine at Harvey Weinstein's hotel room at 3 o'clock in the morning while he's wearing a bathrobe.
Yeah.
Ew.
And he'd be like, I don't have balls anymore, but still go down on me. But anyways, you refuse to do that.
Mhm.
is it conceivable maybe her twin was like that?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because she saw Giselle maybe go and just totally sell
Sell
her
her
soul
soul. Yeah.
and was like, "Oh my god, she's a witch, and now she sold her soul, and look
She
at all of her money."
she's a self-proclaimed witch.
She's a self-proclaimed witch,
Yeah.
and she said she put a curse on the opponents, and that's why. But then here's another thing. You were saying bring up some of the anomalies where it looks like sports is
Yeah.
rigged.
Yeah.
Tom Brady was involved in one of those
Right.
instances.
Was that called Inflategate or something like that?
Oh,
Where
well, Inflategate, yes, that
Inflategate.
was the Patriots. Well, that was where there was some speculation that they were messing with the inflation of the balls in order
Right.
to give themselves an advantage.
Right.
And the coach, what's his name? He begins with a B, Belichick or something like that.
Yeah.
He is notorious for cheating and blurring the lines. But I'm wondering if that's just backstory.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
kind of like Trump's a clean bleeder.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
People develop these backstories, and it's like an ethos, and they're characters in a show.
totally. Well, yeah.
Sports is a
It
show.
it creates drama and intrigue, and people get really like emotionally invested, you know. And do you remember that thing that happened? Gosh, what was this, like maybe a year or two ago, about that guy, what was his name? Demar or Lamar or somebody, and he like had something where his heart stopped or
It's not like
something.
you took the pokies or anything.
Right. But that whole thing was really bizarre too. Like the all the footage that happened where the ambulances that showed up didn't even look like real ambulances, and then like he sort of disappeared. He was off the radar completely after that.
That could have totally been rigged, and
And
it could
then
have been a big ploy because right then the pokies were a big thing.
yeah.
And like if a professional athlete would refuse to take the pokies, that was going to be a big issue. Like what was that guy's name for the Steelers who was like, "I'm not taking it." He was
Yeah.
quarterback.
Well, a lot of it was like made a big deal of like everybody, all the players had to get the pokey pokes. Anybody who wanted to go watch these things were supposed to go get them. So, I mean, it seemed pretty obvious to me that that guy probably died. And then they like came up with this story that like, oh no, no, he didn't die. And they had like some guy that showed up a few weeks later dressed up like him. And they said, there he is. He's at the game, you know, and it totally wasn't him.
So you're
So,
thinking maybe he took the pokies and had a stroke on the field, and
mhm.
they tried to cover it up.
Yeah, and they made it sound like it was like this one in a quadrillion kind of thing that happened to his heart at the
Meanwhile,
time.
have you ever watched those video montages where there's like it's like another one bites the dust, and
Yeah,
that in the whole
yeah,
song, it's just got people
all
dropping
his
dead on the field.
yeah, yeah, but they, you know, they made it out.
So it happened. It didn't just happen to Lamar Tomlin or whatever that guy's name
Yeah,
is. It happened to
a lot
hundreds
of
and hundreds of
they were just like
athletes.
all these athletes who are at the, you know, their top physical
Because
ability.
what was the guy's name? Mike Yeadon. He was the chief technology officer at Pfizer, and
Hmm.
he came out and he discussed why that is. Because they were asking him, they're like, why would these guys who are in the best shape of their lives, they're 26 years old, they're in the best shape they could possibly be. They have physical trainers working with them
Yeah,
to make sure they're in their maximum perfect shape,
yeah,
and they have a stroke and die on the field. Why is that? And he said it's because the spike protein manifests itself more rapidly when you're pumping blood through your whole body as
right,
fast as they're doing it.
exactly, yeah. And
So that's what happened to that Tomlin guy.
yeah, that for sure. And, you know, they made it out like, oh, this is a real physical thing that can happen, you know, if it like somebody like bumps into you at just like the perfect spot, you know, on your heart or whatever. And I remember talking to a
Well, Earth modification
I
caused it.
know. I remember talking to a fireman
A
friend
firefly?
fire fireman friend of mine who was like, oh yeah, we have to be there, you know, they always have like paramedics on site for these events. And he was like telling me how they all had to be like trained about this kind of thing. And I was like, why? Like, this is gonna happen again if this is so rare? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like now this is something that we have to worry about, like somebody getting bumped at just the right spot in their heart. No, this is probably gonna happen again because of the pokey pokes.
Remember the weather lady?
I but I think we're kind of getting off
No, no,
track.
no, no.
We're getting off
So
track a little bit.
the reason I brought up
Yeah.
is because so Tom Brady was involved in the Super Bowl where the Steelers, or not the Steelers, the Seahawks played the Patriots.
Uh-huh.
And they were on the 2 yard line. It was the end of the game, and all they had to do, the Seahawks, all they had to do was use their best running back. They had that dude with like, have you noticed a lot of football players now? They have long hair sticking out of their helmet. When I
Yeah.
was a kid, you never saw that. Now it's like he's got like Bob Marley dreadlocks like flowing out of
It
his
seems
helmet.
like that would kind of get in the way.
I would grab him by his hair.
Yeah,
It's
just
like
yank
whatever.
him.
This is not even a penalty now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that guy was like the best running back in the league.
Uh-huh.
And they're on the 2 yard line, it's 3rd and 2, and all they gotta do is punch it in for the win.
Right.
And instead of giving it to the best running back in the league, they do this little weird like throw, like a screen pass,
Hmm.
gets intercepted and run all the way back for a touchdown by the Patriots. Now, everyone goes, "Oh, well, that's Giselle. She put the curse on them."
Hmm.
But I'm thinking, no, that was probably all staged.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably because Pete Carroll, the coach, he comes out and he does little statements about how he's on board with woke initiatives.
Oh, great.
So he's woke. He's like
Yeah.
Steve Kerr. He's one of
Yeah.
these coaches that comes out. He goes, "No, no, no, Black Lives Matter."
They're all part of the culture club.
So they're part of the culture club.
Hmm.
So what I'm thinking is, yeah, that was probably staged. The
Yeah.
other one that seems kind of staged was, remember in the Super Bowl that was in New Orleans, and they had a.
Oh, right.
So what happened in that one is the Saints come out and they're beating the Niners by like 4 touchdowns in the first half,
Hmm.
and then there's a power outage.
Oh, how
And
convenient.
convenient. And so the power outage in the stadium takes like an hour and a half. And so there's no halftime show and it's a big to do. But then all of a sudden miraculously it comes on. And then the 49ers come back and win the game by scoring 5 unanswered touchdowns.
Interesting.
And I'm wondering if that was all just a script for ratings.
Well, they do these things to like get people riled up and emotional about it. You know, it's like a drama. It's like watching a show or a movie, you know, like you've got to have like sort of the lead up, you know, and then you have like the tension, and then there's like the crisis or the thing that like gets people on
The
edge, the
climax,
climax, and then
the resolution.
you have the resolution. Exactly.
That's what they taught us in film class.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. That's
So,
it. You know what it's called? It's called a paradigm.
yeah.
It's the film paradigm. You have a building up to a conflict, and then you have the climax, and then you have the resolution. But see, that could be all contrived.
I know.
So have you ever heard of the 1919 Black Sox scandal?
No.
So the Chicago White Sox had a guy named Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about him.
Ray Liotta played him
Okay.
in that movie Field of Dreams.
Uh-huh.
Remember?
Yeah.
If you build it, he will come.
Yeah.
So that was a real scandal. That was
Yeah.
a real scandal.
Uh-huh.
I think it was 4 or 5 players were found guilty in a court of law where they were proven guilty of taking money to throw the game.
Interesting. How did they do that?
Well, they would do like the pitcher would, serve it up to the batter,
Mm-hmm.
or this batter would, because these guys get skilled enough that they can do stuff.
Yeah. So that's like kind of cool that you just brought that up because so I've been watching all these baseball games lately. I have a little fan at home. And anyway, now they're in the finals, you know, the division league final. I don't even know what it's called, where they get ready to go to the World Series.
Mhm.
So they're all reading.
There's the National League Championship
Right.
Series,
The National League, the
the
American League.
American League
So they're
Championship
doing that
Series.
right now. And I was watching the Dodgers and the Phillies were playing. So they were playing the last 2 games. They have to play 5 games. It's the best 3 out of 5. And I always thought, you know, like, how could you rig a baseball game? Because you can't exactly, like, you know, make a player hit an out of the park home run. Like you can't force that
I
to
don't know,
happen.
can you? Because if you have two extremely skilled people who've been practicing their whole lives and they have extreme skill, and you give each of them $1 million bonus, and you tell the pitcher serve it up high and tight, and you
Well,
tell the batter it's going to be coming. He's going to throw a fastball high and inside. You just need to hit it out. I bet you could.
well, I think what you can do is, so here's my point. I don't think you can like force it to happen like 100% of the time. Like they're like it's going to be guaranteed this guy's going to hit it out of the park. And I don't think you can like guarantee that somebody is going to, absolutely make the play every time or not make the play. But I think you can move things around in such a way so that certain
50-50.
certain teams have advantages and disadvantages.
Yes.
So what you can do is, and what I was noticing the other night is, the Phillies were doing pretty good, and then the manager like rearranged some of the players. Like he took a couple players out and brought like a couple of pinch hitters in, and it was kind of weird. And then they ended up losing the game, and I'm like, that was really weird. And then the same thing kind of happened the next game. They had like they were moving people around, and I started thinking, you know what? I bet you, and this is my prediction. I'm going to make a butterfly's making a prediction.
Let's hear it.
Okay. Now I could be wrong, and we'll find out. We'll find out tomorrow.
Predictions are they have that as part of the built-in like nature of a prediction.
Right.
It could be wrong.
So, and this is why we're putting out this episode. So I could be wrong. Who knows? But my feeling is that
I'm heading to Vegas to the sports book right now
yeah.
based on your prediction.
Okay. So the Dodgers were playing the Phillies at the Phillies home stadium the first two games, and the Phillies lost both games. And I started thinking, the Dodgers are kind of like the favorite team, right?
Yeah.
America's kind of favorite. Like everybody, like a lot of people love the
They
Dodgers.
got Shohei.
They've got Shohei. They've got all
They got the biggest payroll.
they kind of stacked their team, which was seemed really kind of unfair. But um, they have like the biggest payroll. They're paying these guys like $700 million. It's crazy.
They probably get the highest ratings when they're in
They
it.
get the highest ratings, and and in turn, what they do is they sell soft drink for $15 when you go there.
What a gym.
$50 to park because they
What a gym.
got to cover these salaries. It's outrageous. But I was thinking, you know what? I bet the Dodgers are the favored team, and they're favored to win. They're going to win because it's all been set up for them to win so
Yeah.
that they can stay the favorite team and
Yeah.
they can win the World Series, and everybody will be like, "Oh, the Dodgers are so great. They're so wonderful. They won the World Series again." And they're going to stay in that spot. And so I think what's going to happen is, so they won the first two games in this series against the Phillies, which the Phillies have a great team. Like they have really good players, and they just weren't playing very good the other night. Like they weren't hitting. It was weird. Um, I think it was set up for them to lose. And now it's
Totally.
building all this drama and this emotion. It's like emotional blackmail, like you like to say. I think what it's doing is it's building up all this drama because they have to win 3 out of 5. So now they're going tonight to play the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium. This is my prediction. I think the Phillies are going to win tonight because I think they've built up this drama and intrigue of them
Yeah.
losing the first two games when they should have won. And everybody's like on edge. All the fans are upset and worried, but they're going
Think
to
about how much the ratings are going to improve if now the Phillies do a Cinderella story comeback.
Yeah, they're going to do a comeback. They're going to win at Dodger Stadium. And then everybody will still be in it. The fans will still be in the game. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because now, oh my gosh, they won. So now they still have a chance because if they win, then if they win 3, then they get to go to the World Series.
I could totally see
So
that being contrived.
I think they're going to win. And then I think they're going to win the next one too, because they're going to like keep the drama going
Well, that
all
makes
the
it a
way.
better series. And
Yeah,
think about all the commercials,
right.
all the money, all the stands.
If it
If they
ends, if it
so if
if
they end it tonight, they're going to lose millions.
yeah, if it ends, it's over. But if they win and then they win the next one, which I think the next game is probably Wednesday, it's probably in 2 days. Then the Dodgers have to go back to Philly to play the last game, and then I bet that's where the Dodgers will win.
Well, I can I tell you my epiphany?
Yes.
So I had an epiphany.
Okay.
So remember we were kind of talking about politics,
Yeah.
and we were talking about how everything that's going on in politics is a movie,
Mm-hmm.
and they direct it in real time. The puppet masters direct it in real time.
Oh, right.
Same thing with professional sports.
Uh-huh.
So as things are going, I think they can easily bark marching orders to coaches and players
Mm-hmm.
on the
And
field.
you know how they have those little phones back
Yep.
in their little dugouts? They
The
probably
puppet
they call them
masters.
up and they go, okay, here's now this is what you do.
Yep.
You pull that player out. This guy's got to go
And
in.
in baseball, you only really have to have a few key players that you control.
Yeah.
That's going to control the game.
You drop the ball at this point. You don't pass the ball at this other point.
The Black Sox scandals in 1919 didn't have the whole team. There was a few select players that were implicated. They don't need the whole team.
No.
They can get the outcome they want with a few people that they own.
And they probably like just pay those guys an extra like $20 million or whatever. And
Like Shohei's got $750 million a year. I guarantee that dude has a puppet master.
For sure.
He is on script with his whole life and his performance in the game.
Yeah.
So, point being, I think just like politics, sports is completely controlled.
Yeah.
It's all a big show. It's all for the sake of money and entertainment. And it's bread and circus.
It is.
They want you distracted.
Remember our Dodgers episode?
Yeah.
I felt like I was at the Roman Coliseum. Literally.
That was it.
You
It
know?
felt like the Roman Colosseum.
Yeah.
So why? Because bread and circus keeps you, because what's going on right now that they want to keep you distracted? The culture club, Satan goes, no, 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 no. Look at this. The Phillies and the Dodgers. It's gonna be exciting. So I want you guys to all just sit around and watch this. But meanwhile, digital prison is being built. So just so you know,
Yeah.
but you don't pay attention to that.
Yeah. And meanwhile, okay, so that is such a good point too. So they're building this digital prison for us literally as we speak to have everybody trapped in this life of being everything is digital and everything is monitored, tracked, and traced. And what is so ironic here, oh my gosh, Epiphany.
Epiphany.
Where they're really like putting this into place already, where it's already in place and they're enforcing it, is at these professional games. Because when you go to one of these venues, everything is digital. They don't take cash anymore. So even the guy that's walking up and down the aisles, like hot dogs, cotton candy, he doesn't take cash. It's all digital. It's all you have to
And did
pay
you
for.
see how they use sports as part of the control mechanism during cooties? During cooties, sports was used as a control
It
mechanism.
was.
So you'd watch baseball, no one's in the crowd suddenly. It
No.
was like, no, 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 we don't have people in the crowd because of the cooties. The cooties really bad. But then what was on the mound? Black like meow.
Oh yeah.
And then what was happening? They had to kneel.
Yeah.
They would kneel and give you, well, white people are bad.
Yeah.
So
Social engineering.
So professional sports was one of the instruments that the Culture Club used for control during cooties. So why would anyone think that it's real? It's a control mechanism. Sports is a control mechanism.
It is.
That's what it is.
It is. It's
They want you to eat Ruffles and drink Budweiser and sit there and get a beer gut at your house.
Yeah.
That's because if you pull your head out of your ass, you're going to look around and go, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They're trying to make sure that I have a profile, and if I say the wrong thing, I don't get to buy food. We need to address this. I don't care about Shohei Ohtani right now. I don't care if he gets a home run or a base hit. That's completely irrelevant. Are we prisoners? Are we slaves?
Yeah.
But see, I think that's the reason. So people might say, well, why would they rig it? Well, obviously money.
Yeah.
But I think there's another reason. I think bread and circus.
Yeah, give them bread and circus and they will never revolt.
And they won't revolt. That's what it is.
Yeah. And I mean, we aren't Debbie Downers. We like to be entertained too. And I totally understand like the entertainment
But
value of it,
but wait a
but you've
second.
gotta you've gotta realize that there's other things going on.
When you went to the Dodger game, you did not submit to the face scan.
Right.
So you can still
Part
enjoy a game and participate in sports, but you don't have to become a walker.
Yeah.
You don't have to become a blue-pilled walker.
Yeah.
You can go to the game and observe it for what it is. But I think when you go to a game, you should look at it like a TV show. This is a contrived event. This is not organic. This is not just natural. This is a contrived event. You're seeing something that is completely controlled. You're not watching it like there's no outcome that's like organic,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of
Maybe.
sad because, I do think that there is some level of talent and skill that has to happen with professional sports, like especially, like baseball. I mean, these guys obviously have trained for a really long time and they're obviously athletic and really good,
You can
like
train monkeys to do stuff.
true. But I mean, it's I'm comparing this to like say like actors in Hollywood. I think,
Yeah.
of course there are some really good actors too, but there's like thousands of just really, average actors that
You take a mediocre
anybody could
person,
replace,
you take a mediocre person and you make them practice something every single day for years.
they're going to get good.
You're good. At
Yeah.
least good enough where they can go and do what you want them to do.
Right. But my point here is that I think with sports, you can't hide the fact that you're actually doing something. Like, a gymnast, for example, like that person has trained for a long time to stay on that little skinny board or to go on those bars. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's valid.
It's not like an
But that doesn't
actor.
mean it couldn't still be rigged.
It could still be rigged.
Even despite the
Yeah.
fact that you have to have talent.
But I think there is more talent and ability involved in like sports than there is in like, you know, Hollywood or music because,
And who knows, maybe Shohei Ohtani did kind of a similar like Jimmy Page, where he sold his soul and Satan goes, good, good, good. I'm going to give you the skill.
Mhm.
Here, you're going to be awesome at baseball.
Right.
But when you die, I'm going to be there and be like, oh, you're welcome.
You're gonna burn in hell.
Here's your fiery roots. So that could be the case.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm noticing too is your little fan
Mhm.
is emotionally invested.
Very. Yeah.
And look at how
I know.
very emotional he is.
Yeah.
So that makes me think that is more evidence of the contrivancy.
Mhm.
They want you to have that emotional investment.
They
It's like a
do.
soap opera. It's like
It
Luke and
it is
Laura.
like a soap opera. It's like watching a soap opera because when you start, getting into like a certain team, you get kind of like attached to the players, you know their names and you kind of know like a little bit
Yeah.
about them and you get really like invested in this, and so it's
Remember,
totally like a soap opera.
remember the fat tattooed nacho eating walkers at Dodger Stadium?
Yeah.
And then
There were tons of them,
you said
literally tons.
you said a really funny thing in that episode. You were like, well, toward the end of the game, these walkers get gnarly.
They do.
I love that.
They get
They
gnarly.
get gnarly.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? They're getting kind of mad
Yeah.
because of outcomes that are not going their way.
Right.
So I think the Culture Club plays on that
I think so too.
because, now, remember we talked about getting sutured into the narrative?
Yeah.
When you go watch a movie, what is it about a movie that keeps you? You have to care about the characters.
Right. So that's what they do with sports. They get you like emotionally invested and you start to care about these characters,
And I'm wondering if injuries
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah.
drama is all scripted.
I know because there's always like an injury. And that was another thing that was happening the other night when I was watching. Like this one guy made a really great like diving play. He dove and caught this ball and it was like really awesome. Well, then they said he had pulled a muscle or something and he was injured. So they had to pull him out of the game.
Could that be fake?
Right. It could be.
Well, and like you might say, well, how could somebody make a spectacular catch and have it be rigged? But dude, um, I was really high with my friends and we went to Reno one night at like just on a Tuesday night, we went down to Reno and started walking through the casinos
Hmm.
and there was a trapeze show. And this little Asian chick was like gnarly doing trapeze. And I mean, if you practice something, you could do gnarly feats
Yeah,
and have it still be controlled.
right.
So I'm thinking maybe even if a guy makes a spectacular catch, that could have been script.
It could have been.
These guys could be so good that the guy at the bat, he can hit it exactly where he needs to hit it.
Yeah. Well,
The pitcher serves it up
it's
perfectly.
funny though because I see some of these little boys playing, and they actually practice like doing diving catches because it's really fun and
Yeah.
it's like dramatic, and they all think it's so exciting to watch. So like sometimes they like do that on purpose because they want to make it look cool. So how could a professional not be able to do that? You know
And
what I
that,
mean?
and then the kid always is envisioning coming to bat in the bottom of the ninth with 2 on, 2 out.
Yeah.
Those kind of scenarios, they probably create those on purpose
Uh,
so that the little kid at home goes, "Oh my god, oh
oh
my god!"
my gosh.
And then, so what's the white pill here? What's the kind of crux of it? I think what we're saying is the Dodgers series that's going on right now, that's bread and circus.
Mm.
You're watching a contrivancy, you're watching a television show. None of that's organic. And there's nothing really kind of wholesome about it. I'm starting to think.
Well, the people that are at the games
That's not
are
wholesome.
really wholesome.
No, they got tattoos and like eating nachos and like they're a lot of fat people.
Yeah.
That's which is weird. You're fat, but you're gonna watch sports. I
Well,
mean, go like participate in sports then.
yeah, they don't. That's another interesting point too, which I think we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have a whole episode on like the YouTubers and the video game people because there's this whole trend now where um these YouTube guys play video games, and like kids like to watch this. Like
Yeah, yeah,
did you
yeah.
know about this?
No, no, no.
Like
My daughter's done that too.
kids want to watch
I
like
want to watch a dude play video
the guy
games
playing
and
video,
comment.
and I'm like, what's fun about watching? And I remember I was at a friend's house one time, and this friend was like, his daughters were watching this, and he was like, why do you guys want to watch somebody playing a video game? And one of the girls said, well, you watch sports on TV, it's the same thing. And I was like,
It's true.
okay,
That's a good point.
she's making a good point, but it's not exactly the same thing because the sports actually, like, you do have to have physical ability to do these things, whereas like you could sit on your couch and like be eating nachos all day long, and just
Watching somebody play
once you
video
practice
games,
enough, you're
yeah,
gonna be able to do the video
it'd
game.
be
You
it'd be
know what I
like
mean?
watching pool on TV or
Yeah.
watching bowling.
Well, I mean, like
You're not really watching
no,
athletes.
if you sit and like do a video game long enough, you're going to be able to play the video game. Like you don't, it's not like you got to actually like run the bases or. So I think it's funny that the watchers are like just content to like watch it, and it's the same kind of thing with the sports. They want to watch it, but they couldn't ever play it.
They get sucked into that thing. And
Yeah.
then what I notice is they don't want you to have a inactive participation kind of like you do, where you go watch the game, but you're not emotionally invested and you're just kind of going for your kid. And you might go to a game every once in a while, but for the most part, you're not tuning in unless somebody's making you tune in, like your little fan at home is the reason you tune in. But other than that, you wouldn't really be tuning in. They want people to be like sucked into the narrative
Hmm.
and you get sucked in. Like my dad watched the Angels from preseason until the end of the season,
Hmm.
every game,
It's like 200 games,
every game,
right?
and knowing everything about. See, what
Yeah.
happens is,
But there's a lot of people like that.
well, my dad was like that. My dad, God love him, he's dead now, but he would watch the Clippers and the Angels, and he would know everything about all the players.
Mhm.
He would know all the injuries going on. He would know their record. He would know, you know, it was a soap opera for him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
is.
that's what I think sports is.
It's a
It's
soap
it's a soap
opera.
opera. But I think what they want you doing is, um, Satan goes, good, good, good. Whatever appeals to you, just make sure you're focusing on my media,
Yeah,
because that's how I'm going to control you. I don't want you like thinking for yourself.
yeah,
No, let me think for you, because I'm guiding you.
totally.
And I think sports is like
I
that.
think so too. So, who are you rooting for?
See, I'm not rooting. I'm not rooting. You know what? You know what I will say? I will say I'll probably root for the Phillies because I know you guys are fans, and I hate the
I hate
Dodgers.
the Dodgers. I'm rooting for the Phillies.
But
So
I'm not rooting like
let's see how my prediction pans out,
exactly.
right? Well, that was fun.
Dude, so now that was out in time.
I
So
know.
let's see how your prediction
Let's see
plays out.
how it
I
goes.
love it.
Okay. Bye.